as you know, we have been talking about insects. Miss Misty has specifically been talking about the parts of an insect, and I've been talking a little bit about the life cycle of an insect. Now we're going to do a couple books about spiders. Now, I know a lot of you don't like spiders or you're afraid of spiders, but here in where we live, the spiders aren't very dangerous. So you don't have to worry about them so much. There are places that there can be dangerous spiders, but the spiders here aren't too bad. But what we want to talk about is the differences between insects and spiders. So Ms. Misty told you that insects have how many legs? You see that? Insects have, let's count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legs. So insects have 6 legs, 2 antennae. They have 3 body parts, the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. And they usually have wings, but not always. There are some like ants that don't have wings. And they usually have just 2 eyes, but they kind of are funny eyes. They're called compound eyes. So that is an insect. Now a spider is different. I don't know if you guys can see that. A spider has a different number of legs. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So spiders have 8 legs. Insects have 6. So that's different. So spiders are not insects. They're very different. Now, another thing that's different is, you remember insects have 3 body parts. Spiders have 2. They have an abdomen and a head, sometimes called a cephalothorax. Okay. Now, insects have antennae and 2 eyes. Spiders do not have antennae. They have fangs that they use to help them eat insects. And sometimes they're called pedipalps. It depends on what book you read, but that's what they use. And then they have a spinneret down here that they use to make their webs. You guys have probably seen a lot of webs. The other thing that's different is, remember I said that insects, and Miss Misty said the insects have 2 eyes that are compound eyes. That means they see a little bit differently than our 2 eyes. Spiders usually have 6 or 8 eyes, which is completely different. And they're not compound eyes. So spiders and insects are different. So I'm going to read you a book. We're going to look at a book, I guess I should say, about spiders. This book is called Spiders. It is written by Sherry Bean. Does anybody remember what the word is for the title is for the person who writes a book? The author. Remember, just like all of your teachers tell you, author writes the words. Okay, now the person who drew the pictures is Brad Davies. Does anybody remember the fancy name for the person who draws the pictures? The illustrator. You've got it. Okay, so we're going to look at this book called Spiders. The title is called Spider. It's got a picture of a spider on the back. Here's the front cover and the back cover. Remember, we start in the front. We open it up. There's the title page. If you were a spider, we would call you Great Spinner. You build your web between branches or in the corner of an old woodshed. You create squares, diamond shapes, and even circular webs with great care. Spiders live just about everywhere. Your habitat or home can be in mountains, deserts, and woods, grasslands, marshes, and even lakes. So a habitat is where you live. So my habitat is this house. Spiders can live in many different kinds of habitats. Oh, there's a spider on a flower. If you were a spider, I would call you arachnid. You are not an insect. Your body has two parts, an abdomen and a head. Okay? We talked about that, remember? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 legs. There's the pedipalps, and you see the eyes here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like this one might have 6 eyes. And then down here is the spinneret, where they make the web. Insects' bodies have 3 parts, a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. Arachnids do not have antennae. So see the antenna there? No antenna, they've got the pedipalps instead. Arachnids do not have antenna or wings. Insects have antenna and usually have wings. If you were a spider, we would call you extreme. You could be almost too small to see or the size of a dinner plate. That's big, but not here. We don't have very many spiders that big here. With a leg span of more than 10 inches, the Goliath bird-eating spider eats birds, mice, and even snakes. Wow. Those do not live in the United States, just so you know. Nothing to be scared of there. When you are a spider, you feel almost everything around you. Your body and 8 legs are covered with hairs so sensitive you can even feel the air. Wow. As your prey gets near, you can sense it and then see it long before it sees you. If you were a spider, we would call you climber. Your feet have tufts of hair that let you walk on walls. Now that would be cool. I wonder if that's what Spider-Man has that makes him be able to walk on walls. It'd be fun to be able to walk on walls like a spider. Most spiders have 6 or 8 eyes. Each one can look in its own direction. This means that you can see several things at once. Most other creatures cannot do this. If you were a spider, we would call you boneless. Oh, they don't have any bones. We have bones inside of our bodies to hold our body up. You would have a hard exoskeleton. So that means you would have the hard shell. Your skeleton, your bones would be more on the outside, your hard shell, instead of on the inside like ours. It acts like armor as it covers and protects your soft insides from harm. Your exoskeleton is also called a carapace. When you molt, it comes apart and a new one takes its place. See, the old skin came off and they get a new one. Oh. If you were a spider, you would ambush your prey. That means you would surprise them. You make your web of sticky threads with spinnerets at the back of your abdomen. See? They would make a web from their spinnerets. That's kind of cool. I kind of wish I could do that. I think Spider-Man uses his hand, right? His spinnerets must be in his hand. He goes and catches the bad guys, right? You hide and wait when your prey gets stuck in the sticky threads. You come running, you bite it, you wrap it up, you eat it right away, or you might save it for later if you were a spider. If you were a person, you probably wouldn't eat an insect. Through your hollow fangs, you inject poison into your prey. This paralyzes it so it cannot get far away. Since you have no teeth for chewing, you need to drink your meal. So your fangs then fill your catch with liquid that turns its insides into jelly. That's really disgusting. Pedipalps on both sides of your mouth. Remember, pedipalps are fangs. Hold your food while you suck that jelly into your belly. Maybe the fangs are the part that sucks the jelly and the pedipalps hold it while it sucks. If you were a male spider, you might dance for the female or bring her food as a present. Once the eggs are fertilized, it's time to run. The female lays hundreds of eggs. She wraps them in a silk sack that she hides in the corner or carries on her back until they hatch. You see that? I sometimes have seen those like out in the garage. If you were a newly hatched spider, we would call you spiderlings. Ooh, that's a great name. Spiderlings grow quickly and shed their carapace, often to give their growing bodies more space and protection. Remember, a carapace is your exoskeleton, your outside shell. Well, the insects or the spider's outside shell. Rows of eyes develop along with spinnerets used to make silk. Some spiderlings can spin a silken thread that lets them leap and float on the breeze. This is called ballooning. Ooh, that's kind of cool, where they float. The silk that spiders make is quite special. It is strong, it can be fat, thin, slippery, or sticky. A perfect blanket for a spider, eggs, or even a trap. The net casting spider throws a silken net on unsuspecting prey. Oh, like insects instead of. If you were a spider, you could make a drag line that lets you hang from a leaf or a branch. You seem to disappear as you prepare to attack or hide from danger. Some of the creatures you like to eat also like to eat you. Birds, lizards, and even wasps eat spiders. The little spiders can't eat a bird, but there's some big spiders that maybe could. But remember, they don't live here. If you were a spider, you could be one of a great variety. That means different kinds, many different kinds. The trapdoor spider hides in its burrow, waiting to pounce on its prey. Oh, what kind of spider would you be? Oh, I don't know if I would want to be a spider. I kind of like the idea of ballooning and having that spider web and then floating in the air. That sounds really fun. So remember, there's a difference between spiders and insects, and we're going to be reading some other fun books about spiders this week too. We're going to read, this was a non-fiction book. That means this one's true. It's got facts in it. But we're going to read some fiction books that are more stories about spiders. So remember, you can make a spider. If you look in your packets, there are some things you can do. You can make a spider out of a cup and pipe cleaners. You can draw a picture of a spider in your journal or just on a piece of paper. And remember, once you do that, take a picture. Have your mom and dad take a picture and send it to your teacher. Okay? I'm so glad that you could join us for spider story time today. We'll see you later.